Hello, welcome to Juniper Level Botanic Garden, the home of Plant Delights Nursery. We've had a tradition at our summer open houses of giving away free prickly pears. Now we choose the ones that are going to be out for adoption. People do not go through the garden and harvest whatever they want. But, I'm sure we must grow about 100 different prickly pears. Keep in mind that not all of them are winter hardy in zone 7B or 8A, but quite a few of them are. And after a number of years, if it's one that's done really well, we need to rein them in. And those are the ones that we postpone reining them in until our summer open house. And we do it at that time, and they're up for adoption. And this is one that is quite vigorous. It's Opuntia microdasys, Dripping Springs. Dripping Springs is a location, I think, in Texas. If not Texas, then if not Texas, then maybe New Mexico. This is the same species that you see sold as a houseplant. Now, I do not think that the ones being sold as a houseplant are necessarily winter hardy, but this is one that has been quite winter hardy. It's a very beautiful thing. It doesn't flower all that much. It has one flower that does not open at this time of the day, but it's a beautiful plant. And the prickly pears generally have both spines and glochids. Spines are those big, obvious needle-like structures that will quickly stab you in the fingers when you're harvesting them. But the glochids are those little bristles that are like getting fiberglass or splinters of glass in your fingers. And so I am wearing a pair of leather gloves, the same that you could buy in any hardware store where I bought them. And they did a pretty good job, a very good job last week of keeping the glochids out of my fingers. The few spines did end up through the leather, but the big spines I can quickly pull out. The little glochids are more annoying because they're hard to remove. Having said that, last year when I did this, I was wearing a pair of welder's gloves. They did not keep the glochids out, but it was only 2 days worth of mild misery, and then by then they were all gone. Wash the dishes twice at home or something like that. But you can see, well, both this prickly pear and this agave are spreading, and I'll just I don't have time to do this safely, so I'm just going to, that's why I was looking for a pair of gloves that would be good protection, because I don't have time to snip each one off with a long-handled tool and then pick them up with pliers. I really need to do this quickly. I have a lot to do around here. And so I'm going to just rein this one in, and I'm going to leave that piece. And I won't finish this all right now, but you can start to get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm just twisting them off. Now, and the cactus, the true cactus, the ones in the cactus family, are known as stem succulents, because the stems and what look like leaves on a prickly pear are modified stems. They might have leaves for about 2 days in the spring when they're putting up new growth, but most of the time they just have stems, and the stems are green, so they're serving the purpose of leaves. And that green is green from chlorophyll, so this is photosynthesizing just like a green leaf on the ginkgo would. If you have a prickly pear pad, you can plant it carefully, or you can plant it by dropping it on the ground where you want it, because they're going to root into the ground. The choyas are close relatives of the Opuntias. They used to be in the genus Opuntia. Now they're in their own genus, the cylindro Opuntia, meaning the cylindrical Opuntia. And a lot of them naturally break off if you bump into them. The plant wants that to happen, because then you get attached. If you're a coyote and you're passing by a cylindro Opuntia and the stem attaches to you, and then it drops off of you a mile down the road, well, you've spread your population even wider. But I guess I'm going on tangents. If you if you had one like that, you could plant each pad separately. And if you want to plant it with a little bit more care, I just like to give a little slot in the ground, put a little bit down in the ground, and you're done. It'll root. Now, they do need well-drained soil. The soil in these beds is about 50% gravel. Some of the prickly pears will be fine in just average well-drained soil. If they need sharper drainage, then you can add gravel to the soil and mound the soil up to increase drainage. Now, perhaps this is a separate video, and maybe we'll do it as a separate video where I actually demonstrate. But over time, well, the pads of a prickly pear don't live forever. The older ones are getting woody, but they also, as the new pads root into the ground, some of the older pads die away. And this has gotten pretty trashy looking. And in that situation, we'll dig up the whole clump, replant adequate but smaller number of good stems, and then just throw the rest away. So that might be in order after we are done giving away prickly pears this year. They're fun plants to have in the garden. Many of them have really beautiful flowers, and just put them someplace where you won't bump into them unintentionally. Thank you very much for your time today, and I hope to see you again in the garden.